So, you want to join the military. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your mother, your brother, your sister, your friends, everyone else that you can think of, let them know. So today we are talking about joining the military. I think I have 10, 11 tips here, so let's just hop right into it. So tip number 1, do not believe everything that your recruiter tells you. They're working a quota system. They need you to sign that paper so that way they're not getting yelled at by their supervision. So do not believe everything they tell you. Go home, do some research, think about the things that they're telling you, but also just do your own research, look into things. They're gonna be there whenever you're ready. They're gonna tell you that you need to be back as soon as you can, you're gonna miss your deadline, this and that. That is not the case. Do your own research, figure out what it is that you wanna do, and go from there. Yeah, that's my first tip for sure. Just make sure you definitely research what it is that you're actually wanting to do. Tip number 2, think hard about your job choice. A lot of people do not consider this because they're young, they're dumb, they're joining the military at the age of 18 to typically 22, 23. Obviously you have your outliers, but think about what you want to do for a job. Most people just skip right over this because everything sounds so cool when you're joining the military. But I promise you, there's a chance you could be doing this for the next 20 to 30 years. So actually think about what you want to do. There really is a lot of cool jobs in the military, but just do a little bit of research. Don't read only off the Air Force careers, because that, again, it's biased. It's gonna make everything sound super cool. Go out, do some research, find groups, talk with other people, find out about your job, and find out if that's actually what you want to do. It's super simple, and I promise you it'll save you many years of heartache trying to cross over and this and that, and it's just super stressful. So, tip number 3, do not lie to your recruiter. Certain recruiters will tell you, just keep it hush hush if you've, done drugs or this or that or blah, 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 blah. Don't listen to that, because that can negatively affect you later on in your career. I promise you. I've had friends that tried to cross-train into new jobs. They had to bump up in a security clearance. When they went in for their interview, they got polygraphed. They said no at one point, and now all of a sudden their polygraph says otherwise. So now you're denied cross-training for a specific job, which you actually wanted to do, and that's just that. Now you're back. Now, and at that point, now you might be getting paperwork, you might be feeling negative repercussions because of the fact that you lied in the past anyways. So just don't be that person. Be straight up. I promise you, they can waiver, they can do this and that. Drugs really isn't that big of a deal anymore. Just be honest with your recruiter and tell them what's actually going on, because it'll just be so much better for you in the long run. So tip number 4, very short, very sweet, not gonna do too much about it. MEPS will suck. You're gonna go down to MEPS for 24 to 48 hours. They're gonna have you do all sorts of things. You're gonna be filling out a lot of paperwork. You're gonna be doing eye exams, hearing tests, all sorts of different weird medical exams. It's not gonna be fun, I promise you. That's gonna be like your first intro into the military, so to speak, because that's kind of like your hurry up and wait. They're gonna tell you fill out everything as fast as you can, do this and that, and then you're gonna sit in a line for 2 hours. And then you're gonna just rinse and repeat the whole time. It's not gonna be fun, but you'll get through it, I promise you, it gets better. So starting tip number 5, that is gonna be getting to basic training. Try not to ask too many questions. And you'll see what I mean if, some of you that actually get there. I promise you, basic training, when you first arrive, is just as confusing for everyone else as it is for you. There's a lot of people yelling at you. There's a lot of people in one big room, 500 to 1,000 of you. Nobody knows what's going on. You're signing all kinds of things. You're getting new gear that they're giving you. It's confusing, it's weird. Just give it a few days. Listen to what your MTIs have to tell you, and try not to be a problem, because they will make an example out of you right away if you're the one person that is causing issues. That's just what MTIs love to do. So just try not to be that person. Just listen to what they're saying even if you're not exactly sure, just try to kind of follow the lead of other people and just get through your first night. I promise it'll be so much better for everyone involved. So step number 6, stay under the radar. I promise you, I graduated basic training with undergraduate. I got the top EOC score in my flight, and I really didn't do anything special. Honestly, guys, I stayed under the radar. Don't be a problem for your MTIs. Do what you're told. It really is that simple. Just try not to make enemies, because you'll see in my next tip what I'm talking about. Just do what you got to do. Get through the day. Take it one day at a time. You will see your family, and you'll be on to tech school. Life will get so much better. All right, guys. So tip number 7. If you do decide to volunteer for a position, I'm not sure about other branches, but I know for sure at like Air Force basic training, you're gonna have your dorm chief, your PT monitor, element leaders, chow runners, all sorts of different things. Don't be an asshole. And what I mean by that is, you guys will see it. There's always gonna be that one person, especially when it comes to like dorm chiefs. Don't let that power get to your head. I don't know what it is about the military, but it's like people who have never had any bit of power ever in their entire life, all of a sudden they get elected for some position of power, heavy quotes because it doesn't mean anything. They turn into complete assholes, and nobody in your flight will like you. Your MTI won't like you because it messes up the camaraderie of the flight. So try not to be that person. I was the PT monitor in my flight at basic training, and what I try to do is, people who are struggling with PT and this and that, I tried to help them as much as I could. If we had breaks or this, that, or the other, I would try to, like, hey, you want to do 20 push-ups? You want to do this or you want to do that? Like, let's knock it out. And that was definitely the way to approach it. Just try to be approachable. Try to offer advice. Try not to be an asshole though, because I promise no one will like you at all, and it'll just make things worse and worse and worse as time goes on. Everyone's gonna start already getting on each other's nerves because everyone just wants to get out of there and get to their families and go on to their tech school. So try not to fuel the fire, because it's gonna get pretty rough towards your last few weeks of training. So tip number 8, don't do anything dumb during tech school. And I guess this does apply for basic training too, but mainly tech school. This is when you get your phone back. You get to start talking to people. You get freedom after class and PT every night. You get to start doing things. Don't be dumb. They will catch you. It might not seem like it. You might think you're better than the system, but I've had a lot of friends that ended up getting kicked out, or they got washed back by a few weeks, which that really sucks. You want to graduate with all your buddies, so just try not to do anything dumb. Go to class, get your schooling done, go to PT, and that's it. You can still have fun by all means. You can still have a lot of fun in tech school. Just try not to do anything too dumb that's going to get you in trouble. You're a pipeline airman at this point, so you're still not technically a full-blown airman. You might have gotten your certificate, you might have gotten your airman's coin, but they will make an example out of you if you screw up bad enough. They will kick you out of the course, and they won't blink an eye about it. So try not to do anything too dumb. Tip number 9 for tech school. Do not marry the first person you meet. You would be surprised how often you will see this. I've had a lot of friends that have gotten married at tech school, and I have one friend that's still married. Everyone else, not so much. I don't know what it is about the military, but just don't be that person. Whatever it is, people, you get to the end of your tech school, and I don't know if people have never really had relationships or anything serious before that, but you get to the end of your tech school, and it's time to split apart. You're going to different bases, and instead of, just splitting up and just calling it a day, people decide that after knowing each other for, 2 months to a year, basically, it's time to get married. A lot of these divorces end pretty ugly. It's not good. It's just a big headache. So try not to be that person. I promise you, this world is huge. The Air Force will take you all over this country and all over this world. So just try not to be that person, because it's just gonna be so much of a headache. Tip number 10 for tech school. GPA does not matter. When I was in tech school, I got superior performer. I think that's like a 97% GPA. It does not matter. All you need is a 75% to pass that class. Nobody cares. When you get to your first duty station, they do not care. They're gonna tell you at tech school, they're gonna make this big rant and spiel about how when you get to your first base, they're gonna basically praise you because you're the best airman in the whole wide world because you got an award or you got a high GPA. That is not the case. They do not care. So just don't worry about it. Obviously, if you want to do well in school, that's why I got a high GPA, then do that. That's completely fine. But don't kill yourself and stress yourself out and not hang out with your friends and do this and that over your GPA, because I promise you it's not going to matter in the end. You're going to get to your job and you're still going to be a 3 level at whatever it is you're doing, and you're going to have to go through all your training. You're going to have to do everything the same as everyone else. So just try not to worry too much about that GPA. That's definitely a big one. And last but not least, tip number 11. Do not be a kiss ass. This applies for basic training, this applies for tech school, this applies for your first duty station. Do not be a kiss ass. You see it all the time, and I promise you it just doesn't work. Your peers are not going to respect you, they're not going to like you because it's annoying. Your supervisors and NCOs, or if you're in basic training or tech school, your MTLs or MTIs, they don't like it. It's annoying, nobody wants it, so just try not to be that person. Don't go to your first duty station telling people how you're going to do this and that and how you're going to be the best airman they've ever had, how you're going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, because everyone's heard that. Show them. Go to your first duty station, and whatever your AFSC may be, do a good job, listen, and try your best to do things right, and I promise you that will get noticed far, far, far faster than if you sit there and talk about how great you are all the time and how you're going to try so hard to be the best. But that's it, guys. If you guys want another video talking about what my first experience at my first duty station was, talking about what you could do to set yourself up to get BTZ, Airman Below the Zone, or what you could do to set yourself up for taking your first staff test, just let me know and we can make that happen. So please like, subscribe, share. Oh my god, I can't talk. Like, subscribe, and share. And that's all for today, guys.